Today's video. Today is my next state up in my deep dive into the 2024 presidential election series. This video is focusing on the state of Iowa. Iowa, a state that used to be a very competitive swing state, especially in the 2008 and 2012 election. President Obama won them both times, and then Donald Trump won them pretty handily in 2016 and 2020. Today we're going to look at the state of Iowa and what it's looking like for 2024 and some potential clues as what we might be watching for. So for the voting history in Iowa, in 2020, Donald Trump won the state of Iowa by 8.2% of the vote. In 2016, Donald Trump won the state of Iowa by 9.4% of the vote. And in 2012, Barack Obama won the state by 5.8%. When it comes to the current 2024 polling averages, there hasn't been too many polls conducted, but the one that has been done has Donald Trump at 51%, Kamala Harris at 45%. Still, there's not been a ton of data out yet. That assumes that Iowa will not be likely that competitive of a state. Looking at the national vote from 2020, Joe Biden won the popular vote by 4.4%. 2016, Hillary Clinton won it by 2.1%. 2012, Barack Obama won it by 3.9%, which is the average across the last three elections of 3.5 percentage points. Currently, the RCP average between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris has Harris plus 1.7% nationally. And if it is 1.7% on Election Day, that would be a smaller number in the national vote behind Hillary Clinton's 2016, which I'm sure we all remember Donald Trump did win that election despite losing the popular vote. I think if the popular vote is only a 1.7% lead for Harris, it's more likely than not a similar 2016 Electoral College map would ensue, and Trump would likely win on the Electoral College. Looking at how Iowa voted compared to the national vote, in 2020, Iowa voted 12.6% more Republican than the popular vote. In 2016, Iowa voted 11.5% more Republican than the popular vote. And in 2012, when Barack Obama won the state of Iowa, Iowa voted 1.9% more Democrat than the popular vote, which on average across the last three elections has Republicans plus 7.4% in Iowa. So Republicans do better than the popular vote by 7.4% on average across the last three elections. Looking at some forecasters for the 2024 presidential election in the state of Iowa, Real Clear Politics has the state categorized as likely Trump. Sabado Crystal Ball has it as safe Trump. Inside Elections has it as likely Trump. Decision Desk HQ in The Hill has it as safe for Trump. And Cook Political Report has it as solid Trump. So I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that the state is going to be won by Donald Trump. The question might just be what the margin of victory in the state will be. Likely would typically be within about 5 to 10 percentage points or so. Safe would probably be over 10, and I think there's a little bit of disagreement on that. But I think it's pretty clear that most forecasters would agree Donald Trump is certainly favored to win the state of Iowa this time around. Some key counties I'm watching for in the state of Iowa. The first county is Dallas County, where it was won by Mitt Romney in 2012 by 11.6% of the vote, or 11.6%. In 2016, it was won by Donald Trump by 9.5%. And then in 2020, it was won by Trump by only 2.3%. So it swung about 7 points Democrat from 2016 to 2020, and about 2 points Democrat from 2012 to 2016. I'm watching this one as a potential county that might be very close and might flip on election night from Republican to Democrat. To go from, obviously, the Democrats just need to gain 2.3% in this county, whereas it flipped 7 points from 2016 to 2020. Based on the trends, it is looking like this county could possibly flip, so this is one I'm watching for. Jefferson County is a similar situation, but on the Democratic side. It voted for Barack Obama in 2012 by 16% of the vote. In 2016, Donald Trump won it by 0.5%, and then Trump won it in 2020 by 1.8%. This is a situation where it flipped 16 points from going from Obama to Trump, and then Trump was able to gain 1.3% from 2016 to 2020. This is one I expect Trump to grow his lead in this county. The question is by how much. So this is one I'm watching for that reason. This could be an example of a suburban county that perhaps if Trump is having a really good night nationwide, this county may show some potential signs of that, perhaps Trump improving in some suburban areas from where he was in 2020. Dubuque County in 2012 voted for Obama by 14.7, voted for Trump in 2016 by 1.2, and voted for Trump by 3.2 in 2020. This is kind of the county that I think, similar to Jefferson, will grow more in Trump's direction, but I think this is a potential idea of what Jefferson might be looking like. I could see Jefferson going for Trump by about 3.2, And Dubuque, I could see going for Trump maybe around 4 to 5% if that trend were to continue. Scott County, this is where the city of Davenport, Iowa is. It was won by Barack Obama in 2012 by 13.7%. 2016, Hillary Clinton won it by 1.5%, so a 12-point drop for the Democrats towards the Republicans, but then it went up about 1.7% from 2016 to 2020. This is one I'm very fascinated to watch because this could swing more towards the Democratic side and up to like Democrat plus 4 or 5, or it could swing back down to 2016 where it's Democrat plus 1.5. It could really go either way based on the last 3 elections. So this could be a very interesting one to watch as well. Is if this county, for instance, is going red, that means it's swinging Republican by about 3 or 4 points. That can be indicative of Trump outperforming in the suburbs. If this is a county that goes even further to the left, well, maybe that could be a sign that maybe Kamala Harris is doing better than Joe Biden did in the suburbs, and she may be competitive nationwide in a lot of suburban areas. So this is one I'm watching for that could have some potential signs for how the election is going. Lastly, there are 2 cities I want to point out. Des Moines, the capital of Iowa, was won by Biden by 15 points in 2020, and Cedar Rapids was won by Biden by 13.4% in 2020. I'm going to show you more in the county map going over those cities as well. So in 2020, Donald Trump defeated Joe Biden statewide in the state of Iowa with 53.1% to 44.9%. And the key counties I pointed out, Dallas County, which is right outside of Des Moines, had 50.3 for Trump and 48 for Biden. Des Moines and Polk County itself had 56.5 for Biden and 41.6 for Trump. Dubuque County on the northeastern side of the state was 50.7 for Trump to 47.6 for Biden. Lynn County, where Cedar Rapids is, was 55.6 for Biden, 42.2 for Trump. Scott County, this is where, as I mentioned, you're going to find Davenport, Iowa. This was 50.7 for Biden, 47.5 for Trump. Jefferson County, this was 50% for Trump, 48.2 for Biden. Now looking at 2016, where Trump got 51.2% of the vote, Clinton got 41.8. Dallas was 50.6 to 41.1. Des Moines was 51.7 to 40.4. Dubuque was 47.2 to 46. Cedar Rapids 50.3 to 41.3. Scott County 46.9 to 45.4. And Jefferson County 46 to 45.5. A lot more pluralities in 2016 than 2020. There was a lot less third-party vote in 2020 than 2016. And you can certainly see a lot of very close counties in 2016, like Jefferson County, like Scott County, and like Dubuque County. It'll be interesting to watch if any of that carries over into 2024. Now looking at 2012 and a completely different map where President Barack Obama won the state with 52% to Mitt Romney's 46.2%. And Dallas County had Romney at 55.1 to 43.5. Des Moines had Obama at 56.1 to 42. Dubuque was 56.5, 41.8 for Obama. Cedar Rapids 57.9 to 40.2. Scott County 56.1 to 42.4 advantage Obama. And Jefferson 56.3 to 40.3. I think this map is certainly something we're not going to really see from Iowa on election night. It's just this is not that democratic of a state anymore. President Obama had a certain ability to win the state of Iowa that really has flipped to Donald Trump the second he became the Republican nominee. And now we're seeing a Obama-like performance from Trump, but on the Republican side, I don't think a map like this in Iowa for 2024 is necessarily realistic. But if Harris does have a very good night, and just hypothetically speaking, won a state like Iowa, the map would probably have to look similar to this, but that is highly, highly unlikely in my personal opinion, and the polling so far seems to show that. Now, looking at the past 3 elections for how the Republican vote percentage went, in 2020, Donald Trump got 53.1% of the vote. In 2016, Trump got 51.2% of the vote. And in 2012, Mitt Romney got 46.2%. I conducted a range to try and give us an estimate for what 2024 might look like. I've taken the highest total, 53.1, minus the lowest total, 46.2, getting that difference of 6.9%. And then I took that 6.9 and added it to 53.1 and subtracted it to 46.2 to give us an idea based on the last 3 elections where the potential Republican vote will be for 2024. And I found that on the low end, Republicans would get about 39.3% based on the last 3 elections, and a high end of 60% for the last 3 elections. And barring a complete and total polling miss, I'm very confident that Trump on election night will get somewhere between 39.3 and 60%. Yes, it's very widespread, but that's also how ranges in elections like this work. And considering it's been a pretty wide gap from Romney in 2012 to Trump in 2020. 4 years from now, if I'm doing this for 2028, and it's 2016, 2020, and 2024, I think there won't be as large of a range, as we expect Trump to finish somewhere on the upper end of the range, probably within 50 to 56 to 57, 58%, somewhere over there. It's also worth noting the average vote percentage of the last 3 elections in Iowa, with Romney factored in, is 50.2%. On the Democratic side, in 2020, Joe Biden got 44.9%, 2016, Hillary Clinton got 41.8%, and in 2012, Barack Obama got 52%. Once again, conducting the highest total of 2012's 52%, minus the lowest total 2016's 41.8%, I conducted a range which got a actually larger result than the Republican side, on the low end of 31.6%, on the high end of 62.2%, and an average vote percentage of the last 3 elections of 46.2%. This one's really all over the place for the range of the Democratic side. However, I think 2020 is kind of a good sign. That's probably around where Harris will get. I don't think she's going to do much better or much worse. Probably within 1 percentage point of 44.9 either way. I just don't think Iowa is going to be a state that swings that much on election night. So I think you can plus or minus 44.9, and you're probably going to get around what Harris's vote percentage will be come election night. Looking at the state of Iowa and its 6 electoral votes for the 2024 presidential election, I have Donald Trump winning the state with 52.7% of the vote. Harris gets 44.4% of the vote with an 8.3% margin of error. This is down 0.5% for Harris from Biden's 2020 numbers, and Trump, this is down about 0.4% from his 2020 numbers. I think there might be a little bit more third-party vote this time around than 2020, which might give a little bit of a polling decrease, but right now, Trump would win the state by 8.3% and add his 6 electoral votes to his column. Now we look at the 2024 electoral map, where all the states I have filled in either red or blue, depending on which candidate won. Right now, Donald Trump has 130 electoral votes after winning the state of Iowa. Kamala Harris currently has 97 electoral votes, and we are slowly but surely moving towards all the states in the United States leading to Election Day and filling them all in, for which candidate I believe will win their respective states. My next election night deep dive series is going to focus on the state of Minnesota, the home state of Kamala Harris's running mate Tim Walz. So please remember to stay tuned for that. In the meantime, please enjoy the sneak peek of my 2024 election night, where I go over the poll closings in the state of Iowa and its projection. Please enjoy. It is now 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and we have a poll closing in 4 more states, those states being the states of Iowa, Montana, the all-important swing state of Nevada, and Utah. Here's what we can tell you about them at this time. In the state of Iowa, the once toss-up state, we can project that it will go for Donald Trump. Iowa's 6 electoral votes have gone for Donald Trump. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned, because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.